Is it happening?
The stream is live. Yes, it is live. Hello. Good morning,
Hello.
everybody. Happy Thursday. It is Thursday, right? Is it Thursday?
Yes.
It's
I know that
Thursday.
because Ella has her second chiropractor appointment.
Okay. It's also my mom's 80th birthday, and thank you, C-Noons. Thank you so much for that.
C-Noons.
So sweet. You guys, 80 is the new 60. Did you know that? It is.
Big
It
80.
I mean, so happy birthday to my mama if you're watching. You guys, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel because there's all sorts of good morsels of wonderfulness out there that you don't
Stuff you're not seeing.
Yeah, you're not seeing that stuff here. It's just little shorts and whatnot. So make sure that you subscribe to that. Click subscribe on our YouTube channel. Do that.
Do it. Thank you, James Edgar. Thank you very much. And thank you to Alexandra, who says, good morning, everyone. I'm in Idaho and had an in-person job interview yesterday, looked at 2 apartment complexes and got drunk at Old State Saloon.
That sounds awesome.
Pics are on locals. The fun continues. See, that's incentive for everybody to get on to locals and, check out Alexandra's drunk pictures from there.
Yeah.
Because who doesn't want to see that? I ask
Exactly.
you.
I know, right?
Reminder, we are getting close to meet and greet, which is happening on the 29th of this very month. And if you still want a shirt and haven't gotten a shirt, they are still available for 5 more days. You can see them at gratefulamericanaapparel.com and you can grab them while they're still available. But it's the 18th, I think, that's it. That's the end of the availability for them. So grab yours while you can. Also, Merrick Garland, not that this means anything, but Merrick Garland was found to be in contempt. The vote in the House took place yesterday. It was 216 to 207. There was one Republican who actually voted no, Representative Joyce. But he was in fact held in contempt. I guess that just ends now because the Senate's not going to convict him or whatever.
Nothing's going to happen. Yay!
Right. So, okay.
That's neat.
So that happened. And then other headlines. So let's get to some other headlines like this one. For example, Leah Thomas, you are not going to the Olympics. Bye. So they are saying that the Court of Arbitration for Sport, they have dismissed a challenge from him, because he had asked the court to reject a policy that would prevent him from competing in women's races at elite competitions. And they said, at least for now, he is not eligible to compete in competitions that are through the World Aquatics or USA Swimming.
Yeah.
So
now can we reconsider and strip him of all the other things that he's won?
Right. Yeah. I mean, because
he's a cheater.
Big fat cheater.
He's a huge cheater and a disgrace in women's sports. Yeah.
Yep. And then you remember that, I think this is a California, it's a California law that says if you're a shoplifter and you go and you shoplift less than $950, you're not going to get prosecuted.
Right.
You basically have carte blanche to do that.
I do remember that. Yes.
So I don't know if this is true or if this is just a meme. Okay. I have no idea. But if it's not true, it should be true. And every California retailer should immediately do the same thing. So this headline says California store owner prices all items at $951 so that thieves can be prosecuted. And then what you do is you take your item to the checkout and you get a coupon that reduces the cost of whatever it is that you're buying to the actual cost.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
Right?
It's a workaround.
It's a workaround.
Yeah. This is great.
I love this so much.
It's probably a meme, but this is a great idea. Listen, you got to see a need, fill a need. You got to find a solution to the problem, right?
Exactly. That's why I thought it was just so funny. So
it's a great idea.
There's that. And then this is an interesting stat. When you hear people saying public schools need more money, they need more funding. No, they don't. Here's what happened in Chicago. Their spending is up 97% since 2012. Their grades are down between 60 and 80%.
Surprise!
So don't tell anybody that the schools need more money. They do not.
Like you and I have been talking about this for 15 years.
Yep.
I mean, ever
Yep.
since we started doing this gig, we have been talking about this very subject. And this
Mhm.
is this is a trend. Grades have continually gone down. You know, the quality of education has gone down and spending for school has gone up. Just look at graphs over the past 15, 20 years. Just look at it. Look at the data. And it'll show you that spending has gone up, grades have gone down, and the quality of education has gone down. So I'm sick of throwing money at it.
Right. It doesn't work. And it's because the money is being thrown at administration and
And
not at
DEI.
actual education.
Mm-hmm.
It's being thrown at stuff that doesn't help kids and it only
Right.
helps unions.
Yeah.
And so this
And
is what you get.
not only that, listen, people will come at me for this, but like even in my daughter's school, why do you have to have 8 assistant principals? You know what I
Right?
mean? In some of these schools, why? I
You
never
don't.
Yeah, like listen, that's just a small part of it because you know we have DEI and all this other stuff that's wrapped up in it. But like when we were in school, we had a principal and a vice principal, and
And
that
that's
was
it.
it.
Yeah.
But
And
a
it
lot
worked
of these
fine.
right, and a lot of these schools now, they have, like, gajillions of vice principals. What are you doing? And then there's, like, 14 counselors, and you're just like, "What? Like, who are all these people, and what are they doing?" Yeah,
I
it's
know, it's
nuts.
so dumb. And it
Mhm.
doesn't help anything,
No,
as we can clearly see from
exactly.
the results. It's not helping.
Yep.
And then lastly, I just thought this was an interesting graphic. So the area outlined in green is where there is an actual chance that you will be beheaded or have your limbs removed if you break a religious law. And the itsy bitsy teeny weeny little sliver of land indicated by that red arrow is where that stuff doesn't happen,
Mhm.
namely Israel. But that's the teeny tiny little sliver of land that we have now left us here in our own country saying is a fascist theocracy.
Yeah,
Make
yeah.
it make sense.
Mhm. Yeah. Queers
Just
queers for Palestine!
uh,
Yeah. Mhm.
Brian Brumley, thank you. Brian says, great store idea. Everything's
Right.
$951. I mean, it's not a bad idea, is the
Yeah,
way that they did it.
915 or below. It's one of those up front. And you're like, "Wait, what?"
Oh, and thank you, RJN0519, over on Locals, who sent a tip saying, happy birthday to your mama, Daisy. Today would have been my dad's 98th birthday.
Oh
Happy
my
heavenly birthday.
goodness.
That's
Thank
sweet.
you.
You guys, do you have one of these? A
Ye
medical
I
emergency kit?
Mhm.
You need one of these. Do you know
Yep.
why you need this? Because recently, and you've probably heard this, you've heard all about like bird flu or whatever. The CDC is sounding the alarm bells. The FDA is like encouraging everybody to be prepared in the event that there is some sort of horrible emergency that causes everybody to be super sick. And really, what we've learned from COVID is that you don't need to panic, but you do need to prepare, right? It's smart to be prepared. And this is not like a first aid kit. This is a medical emergency kit from the wellness center, and I'll show you what it looks like. It is chock full of prescription drugs. It is filled with doctor prescriptions that will treat over 39 medical issues. It's got antibiotics, it's got antiviral stuff, it's got all the stuff that you need in an emergency when perhaps you can't get your hands on drugs in any other way. It's also, I mean, it's one thing to talk about like emergencies and like crises that are facing the world, but there's also the issue of convenience, as you
Mhm.
learned.
Yes, as I learned, when you wanna go sit in the dock in the box and they make you wait for, like, 4 hours, and you don't wanna do that with a bunch of other sick people. So it's nice to have that stuff at home, especially when you're like, "I know I have a sinus infection. I just wanna
Right?
take these antibiotics and just get it done." Yeah.
Or
Mhm.
if you know you have like a UTI,
Right.
you know
Exactly.
that you need an antibiotic, and that's
Uh-huh.
also included. That's one of the kinds of antibiotics included in that kit. So you should have one, at least one kit in your home for your family. You can use code CHICKS at twc.health/chicks. You will save 15% on your very own medical emergency kit to have at home. And by the way, we talked to the docs there. The shelf life of these is like up to 5 years. So
Mhm.
you don't have to worry about it like not getting. I feel like everybody's going to need at least one thing in there in a 5-year
You
period.
totally will use it. Yes.
And if you don't, great. But like this stuff lasts a good long time. So
Mhm.
make sure your house has at least one kit. twc.health/chicks and then use code chicks for your discount. Michael Steller, thank you. Michael says, good morning, chicks. Finnegan turns 6 months old on June 29th. I sent you 2 pictures of him sleeping next to my desk yesterday. I love you both. Finnegan.
Finnegan.
Evyatar Ashkenazi, thank you. He says, raising money for one-way trips to leftists and LGBTQ plus to Gaza. Feel free to help.
Right.
I know, like I'm totally down to help send as many of those losers
And it's weird
over there
because
as
none of
possible.
them go. Isn't it weird how they do that? It's so weird.
So weird. So weird. And Curio23, thank you. Curio says, I think I've figured out the causes of climate change. It's from the gaslighting from Democrats since the
Yes.
60s.
So much gas.
So much. And speaking of gaslighting, the Biden administration is going to keep trying to tell you how great the economy is, even though we just saw the report yesterday that consumer price indexes are higher than ever. They are at record highs. Not that they needed to tell us that, because we all feel it every time we have to pay for literally anything, right?
Mhm.
But CNN had on the White House economic advisor, Lael Brainerd.
Who names their kid Lael?
I don't know, but this person's mom did.
Okay.
Lael was asked a very specific question, which is, have we had the soft landing that the Biden administration has been predicting? And here is Lael struggling with that question.
With all the data that you all are tracking, would you say that the U.S. economy has achieved a soft landing?
So I would certainly say if you look at where we are today with inflation down by 2/3 and continuing to come down, unemployment below 4% for the longest period in 50 years, robust growth, very high levels of investment,
Robust.
factory construction. Those are all positives, but we really need to keep working on bringing costs down. That's going to be our focus. In terms of grocery, housing, gas prices, healthcare, that's what's going to be important to American families.
So you're saying you don't think a soft landing's yet been achieved, or you're not comfortable saying it yet?
So I think that we have achieved a good labor market, more in balance, and inflation coming down, but we have more work to do. And so we're going to keep working to keep the labor market at the good place that it is today, and continue to bring costs down, because we have more work to do there.
She's literally Mayorkas with hair. That's what she is.
That sounded like a pageant answer.
That's,
you know
honestly,
what I mean?
But she doesn't she kind of look like him, and she answers questions like him and everything. These people do not walk around in the real world and buy anything themselves. I'm convinced of it. Like, they don't ever have to shop for groceries or buy gas, or like, I don't know. I'm convinced they don't ever have to like pay their own mortgage. I think other people do it for them because they're clueless about what crap costs right now. Or they're just ignorant. You know what I mean? They just like, they're blind. They want to blind themselves to it. They want to pretend that it's not happening. But I just, it's like they're living in an alternate universe.
I feel like she left that interview and went back to whoever it was that's handling her and said, "What does soft landing mean?"
What?
I don't.
God.
I don't know.
I just, wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So speaking of wow, Kamala was at some, I don't know. Kamala goes and talks to audiences now. And so she's sitting on the stage and she was talking about how she doesn't see anything wrong with people who want to build wealth. She thinks that's a great thing. She, as a multimillionaire, wants you to know that's not the road that she chose, because she is all about public service.
Desire to create wealth is a good thing as far as I'm concerned. If that is what one chooses. I, on the other hand, have chosen to live a life of public service.
Oh, okay. Right.
But I am all for any of you get yours if that's what you want. Right?
We trying. We definitely.
And so that's what this tour is about.
Right.
Oh my
Because
God.
our public servants nowadays are just poor, aren't they? I mean, all of them. Look at Feinstein. She was just destitute when she died, wasn't
Yeah.
she? And
Hard
Pelosi,
times.
Poor Pelosi. I mean, somebody needs to buy her a sandwich because she's so poor. They're all so poor, you guys. All of our public servants. I mean, they really have to like sacrifice when they go into public service these days, don't they?
It's so sad. You know, it's such a sacrifice that she made to do the service instead of the wealth.
Right. All the people in public service and federal government, they really do sacrifice a lot for us to live that life of public service.
Well, and they're also very, very good at sacrificing our money,
right?
Which is very, very easy to do. And now, in fact, they're going to be giving more of our money to just random people that they think need new housing. So it doesn't matter if you're having trouble paying for your mortgage. There might be a first-time minority person out there who really wants a house and hasn't been able to have one. You're going to need to pay for that. Here's Kamala to explain.
Also giving for people who are the first generation in their family to seek to buy a home, $25,000 grants for startup capital to actually be able to pay down on home ownership. $25,000 if you are first, or you are the generation that is the first in your family to be able to buy a home. The other thing we are doing is for a certain tranche of folks, helping them first-time homeowners, $400 a month in credits toward paying your mortgage. And these issues are exactly the kind of issues that when you address them, make a huge difference in terms of who's able to buy a home.
So what about white people?
No. You're not in that tranche.
The tranche. So if, like, seriously though, like, because like I don't have a lot of melanin in my skin, you know, if it depends on the melanin content of your skin that like tells you whether or not you're going to get 25 grand from taxpayers to buy a house
or the 400 a month. I mean, however that works out, I would take that.
Yeah, I would take it too. Listen, in case you guys aren't tracking, they're buying votes. That's what they're doing. They're buying votes because they have a shitty record and they can't run on the record. So they're going to be like, listen, we're going to go ahead and give black people, brown people 25 grand. We're going to take money, more money from taxpayers because we haven't given enough to all these other different things, you know, like forgiving student loans and giving all this money to Ukraine for their pensions. So we're going to go ahead and give this to black and brown people. We're going to buy votes. That's what we're going to do. This is what they do. Democrats are famous for this, right? Buying votes.
Yep.
Gross. So gross.
And they're also famous for spending our money in ways that are that just enrage everybody or should at least. And so Anthony Blinken was amongst other leaders and heads of state talking about giving more to Palestine to rebuild, you know, to help the humanitarian needs of Palestinians. And he's offering up more of our money for that. So here he is scolding other countries and telling them to pony up as well.
Time for everyone to step up. And for those who've already given and given generously, give more.
Oh my God, this enrages me.
The United States has for decades been the largest single country provider of assistance for Palestinians.
Why?
Today, I'm announcing an additional $404 million in new aid to Palestinians, in addition to the more than $1.8 billion in development, economic, and humanitarian aid the United States has provided since 2021.
It's unbelievable. There are at least 5 American hostages still there, right? Am I wrong about that? Am I wrong? At least 5 Americans still there. And we're giving money to these jackholes? Why are we giving money to them at all?
Do we not see how the money that we've given, $1.8 billion that we've given since 2021, do we not see how that was spent on the tunnels, on the weapons, on the terror? And we're giving them more?
On taking Americans hostage?
Oh my God.
There should be zero money spent on these terrorists. Zero. It sickens me. What a disgrace.
It's like we're just asking for more pain. And I don't understand why.
And this guy, what a wuss this guy is too. This whole administration is weak and pathetic. And that guy is like the poster child for beta males.
I mean, when people say we're funding both sides of this war,
We are.
This is what they're talking about.
Yeah, this is
we
it.
absolutely are.
We
and
are.
I don't even understand how any of this, like the country, like the aid that countries give to one another, how that even works. So we've got countries in huge debt who are war-torn countries themselves, also giving money. It doesn't make any sense to me. And that's why this clip of Zelensky talking about giving humanitarian aid to Palestine, I'm just like, wait a minute. What? So why are we paying you? Like,
right.
what?
How can he be giving money to anybody when we're basically funding pensions for those people?
This is what I don't get.
Yeah.
I don't get this. I don't get it, but you'll hear it straight from the horse's mouth. And by the way, he's recognizing Palestine as a state as well.
Israel was in the territory of Gaza and there was a humanitarian crisis. Ukraine said, first, we are ready to help humanitarianly to Gaza. Secondly, you need to respect international laws. Thirdly, Ukraine recognizes two states, Israel and Palestine.
I give up. I know, right? It's like for years, this guy has been begging for money from us. And so our government, our dumbass government is like, okay, here's all the money from Americans that we don't have because we're broke, but we're going to go ahead and give it to you. And then he's like, I'll go ahead and give money too. Where'd you find the money? Did you just find it out of your butt?
I mean, I don't understand any. I don't even understand how we give aid at all when we're stressing about how long Social Security and Medicare are going to last. How are we giving? How
we
is there any aid for anybody else?
We shouldn't. We shouldn't. We absolutely shouldn't be giving aid because listen, if it was your household budget and you were broke, you had zero. Actually, if you were negative, you wouldn't. You simply wouldn't do it because from a personal perspective, you wouldn't be doing this. We wouldn't do this as normal, everyday walking around human beings. We wouldn't do this. But the government just is like, let's just they just keep taking money from us because taxation is theft, you guys. I mean, I stand by that. You can fight me. I will die on that hill. That's what it is. And they keep taking it from us. And so this is what they do. This is what they do. And then they just keep giving it to other countries rather than actually spending it on what they should be spending it on, which is the American people.
Yeah, it's like when we give aid to other countries to secure their borders. I'm just like,
and then they're like, it's racist to secure our border.
Right.
Okay. Unreal.
Nothing that we're doing makes sense. Not a single thing. Not a thing.
Yeah.
Sandra Kuhn, thank you so much for the super sticker. Hot Luke, thank you. Luke says, good morning, everyone. Love you ladies always. Happy birthday to the woman who birthed you for us, Ms. Amy Jo.
Thank you, Hot Luke.
Just 100+ days until we vote the Vincent the Chin Gigante wannabe out of the God-given oval. Man, I hope that's true.
I know. I can't wait.
Teresa Raimundo, thank you. Teresa says she is definitely contributing to climate change. Gas bag. Who is she talking about? Because that was at 8:14.
Is it Kamala? Is it Kamala?
Yes, that's probably that's exactly
Kamala.
right. Alexandra, thank you. She says, I will pay for my first home in cash with the money I save up because I am a responsible adult.
You go.
That's right. You go, girl. Michelle Boyd, thank you. Michelle says, can't we identify with a lot of melanin? Good morning, ladies. Yeah, I identify as heavy melanin.
Right. I identify as brown. Why can't I do that and then get the 25 grand? Can I do that since we can identify as anything we want to identify as?
I mean, that they set the rules. So
yeah.
Teresa Raimundo, again, thank you. Teresa says, back to the tranche word, 25 grand, even though it has already been stated that you need 43 grand more just to try to buy. Yeah, it's like when they say, look how we're helping you pay for your high energy costs by giving you a credit on solar panels for your house. You just need to come up with the 30 grand to add them, and then you're going to get a rebate.
Right.
We're helping.
I know. Yay, you.
Oh my gosh. Navy Vet 76. Thank you. Navy Vet says, buying votes and spending us into economic collapse. When does it stop? We are dead broke and trillions of dollars in debt.
Amen.
I don't know. Yeah. Thank you, Margaret Nestor Gerlach, for the super sticker. And thank you, Karen Elliott, who says, dear FJB, this is the gazillionth notice we have sent. Please contact our Citizen Service Department to arrange payment for your overdue balance.
It's true.
I love it. I love it almost as much as I love Omaha Steaks.
Yeah, they're the best.
It's
I'm hungry.
Father's
I'd eat one right
Day.
now. I'd eat one right. It's 7:24 in the morning, and I eat a steak right now.
I wouldn't judge you. I would not judge you for that.
I would expect no judgment from any of you.
Steaks from Omaha Steaks are good any old time of day,
Yes.
but they are especially great to celebrate the dad in your life. And so Father's Day is coming up. You still have time. You can show your dad all the Father's Day love with a gift package. They start at just $89 with code CHICKS at omahasteaks.com. By the way, did you know that Omaha Steaks is a 5-generation family-owned business? They have been around a long time because what they do is perfection. Okay. And it's not just about the meat. It's also about the seafood. It's about the sides, which I cannot get enough of the pepper jack risotto balls. They are so good.
So good. And the potatoes. I love their potatoes.
The only problem,
like little flowers.
They do look like little flowers. The
So
potato.
good. It's just the right amount.
The problem with the risotto rice balls is that my son can eat an entire box by himself.
Listen, that's okay because he's got the metabolism for it still. You know what I mean?
No, but it's
like when he's 35, he won't be able to do that. But now, let him do it. You know, let him do it.
He asks for them now. Like he'll be like, "Are we having those again tonight?" And I'll be like, "My God, let me order some more."
Greatest when they're that age. Yeah,
they're amazing. So if you do get a Father's Day package, toss in the pepper jack risotto because the balls are they're so good. Omahasteaks.com. Don't forget to use code CHICKS. Do it. Remember Andrew Cuomo?
Oh, yeah, the Cuomo men. Bada bing. No.
Remember how he effed up royally the COVID response in New York and like basically killed a bunch of people in old folks' homes?
I do remember that.
Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you thought that maybe the passing of time would have made him take some accountability, look back on his time as governor and think, what could I have done better?
They're there.
No, he has not done that. In fact, he's blaming everything on the feds and namely Trump.
We have two very different opinions on what happened during COVID. I think the federal government failed this nation, and it was abysmal. How did COVID get to the United States in December and nobody knew?
Crying out loud.
How did it take so many months before we had testing, basic testing in place? How did you have a president of the United States running around saying it's going to be gone when the weather gets warm? By Easter, it's going to be gone. Department of Justice.
Okay, so that was the first part where he's like, it's all Trump's fault. It's all the.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's easy to blame it on Trump now, isn't it, buddy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be, if he actually thought any of the stuff that was going on at the federal level was wrong, why didn't he say something then?
And not only that, but why is it that other governors did it right? You know, he did it wrong, but then there were other governors in the country that were doing just fine and they didn't do anything that he did. And so how is it that he did it wrong? So you suck, dude. You know what I mean? You did it wrong. And so take a little bit of accountability and responsibility for what you did. And he won't do it. I hate it when people do this. He's just pointing fingers at every other person. And also, I cannot get out of my brain that he wore that polo shirt with the nipple rings.
I know.
Remember? You guys remember?
Yes, they were the little barbells, like the tiny little barbell things.
I'll never forgive him for that. I'll never forgive him. That's the biggest mistake right there. You can't forgive a guy that does that.
Well, here he is continuing to not take any responsibility.
Found we did nothing wrong. The
oh my God.
Investigations found that the New York advisory was wholly consistent with the federal guidance set by CMS and CDC. Two investigations found exactly that what New York did was implement the federal guidance.
What a piece of crap that guy is.
He really is, isn't he? He really is. Mm-hmm. You could have done, it was up to you. The buck stopped with you. So,
and it's, I mean, and today, and then remember how he wrote a whole book during the crisis saying, look
how good I did it.
Look at all my leadership. Oh my
Mhm.
God.
Yeah, this is
Oh
how
my
you
God.
handle COVID. I mean, basically what you're admitting is that you're a crappy leader.
Yeah.
That's what you're admitting.
I wonder what he does now. Like, what does he do?
He puts on nipple rings and walks around and like touches himself. He's just like a complete loser. I cannot stand this guy. Yeah, he's just gross in every way. God.
Eugene Heiger, thank you. Eugene says, love you ladies. You put the C in cute. Thanks.
Thank you.
And Robin Zecca, thank you. Robin says, my daughter and her fiance have great jobs, very fiscally responsible, and are trying their best to buy a home. And Godspeed to them. Yeah.
I love that so much. It's hard, right? It's the young people have it really tough, especially right now. It's tough.
I don't know how you do it if you're single. I mean, it's one thing to have a dual income that makes it slightly easier, but my God, if you're a single person, and you just want to live on your own in an apartment, you can barely do it.
It's tough to live in because apartments are so expensive right now. They are crazy.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Speaking of crazy and speaking of Mayorkas, you brought him up earlier. We do have a clip of him letting everybody know that they're doing more to encourage refugees. They're expanding their refugee program into the United States. And they're not just saying, come on over, refugees. They're proactively going to fetch them. Here he is to explain the absolute inexplicable.
We have increased the number of refugees that we will accept from the Western Hemisphere.
Why?
We have built safe mobility offices in Colombia, Ecuador, Guatemala, Costa Rica to reach people where they are so they don't have to take the perilous journey.
So we're just we don't want you to have to want you to have to take the perilous journey. Let us just fly you here. Let's just bring you over. Oh my God.
How does this administration, how does this jerk, how do they think this is going to help at this point? How is this policy at this point?
It's policy because this is what they're hoping they're importing in. This right here.
President Biden.
Biden, I love Biden.
Why do you love him?
Biden helped us.
Of course.
At some point, though, people are outraged by this. Yeah, I mean, Ashley said they're admitting it now. Yeah, I mean, they are just flat out admitting it. They're admitting it. That's their policy. We want to fundamentally transform this country. So they're saying it out loud now. But don't you think that will completely backfire at the polls? I mean, I hope. I hope so. God, I really hope so too, you guys, because when people see that, my blood starts to boil when I see this, when he just outwardly says, yeah, we're going to go fetch them now. It's not just that they're just running over the border, that we invited them and said, we're going to get a bunch of free crap. We did that during the campaign, right? Now we're just going to go get them and we're going to bring them over. That's what he's saying. Oh my God.
I know. I couldn't believe it.
It's so brazen. It's like, it's treason. It's like, I cannot believe these people are doing this and getting away with it. Wow, astounding. It's just remarkable to me.
And then at the same time, Joe Biden had that executive order, 2 weeks ago, which has no bite to it whatsoever. And the fact that he continues to say that he needs a permission slip from Congress to do anything to secure the border is bullshit that even Bill Maher sees straight through.
Acting is Joe Biden saying, you know what, if you just give me a new law, why doesn't the president can fix this? He already has the existing laws.
And Border Patrol
this is also silly. To your face. I need a piece of paper from Congress to deal with the border. No, you already have that.
That's right. That's right.
Did that make Jessica Tarlov uncomfortable?
She didn't like it.
She was like, my fry.
God, I have not missed her. I haven't seen her on the 5. And
what's going on with that? She's
I don't know.
there.
I think she might have been. Maybe she's pregnant again, or I don't know.
Or legal stuff is going on that we're just remember because there was legal stuff happening.
That's right.
And I wonder if she's on a sabbatical because of legal troubles. I don't know. I'm just putting that. It's a question. I'm not saying I know anything. I'm just asking the question.
Yeah, I don't know
because she said things.
Yeah, people are saying she had another baby.
Oh, yeah. She had a baby.
Yeah. People somebody sleeps with her.
They've done it at least twice. Yeah.
And do you think like during she's like, oh my God.
I can't believe you said that and I didn't. Oh my God. Like, I can't believe you just did that. But yeah, she probably does do that. She's like, harder, baby. She does that. That's what she does. You guys,
Oh my
sorry.
God.
It's early in the morning, but this is we keep it real here. I'm sorry, Crystal. Crystal's like, stop. Cruella de Vil's like, stop. Okay, we'll stop. But you guys were thinking it. You were thinking it.
Inappropriate.
It is inappropriate. This is a family show.
It's really not. If you have kids watching the show,
don't let them watch it. What are you
shouldn't.
doing? Don't let your kids watch this show.
It's not. We're not appropriate, you guys.
Not at all.
Speaking of inappropriate, Maxine Waters exists, and I think that's a problem. So
that is inappropriate. It is.
She continues to exist. She is all in favor of DEI being a thing, and the reason that she believes it should be a thing is because now there are Black people in positions of power going after Trump. It's so weird to me that this is her rationale, because she is a Black woman who has been in Congress forever without DEI. You know what I mean? Like without this huge push. So I don't understand why they're acting as though that's necessary somehow in order to have positions of power. It clearly isn't. But this is her excuse. She just wants.
So she's admitting that she wants our democracy, which is it's actually a constitutional republic, you hag. But she wants it to be politically and racially motivated. That's what she's saying. Which is the antithesis of what this country is supposed to be. So maybe she should pick up a constitution and get educated.
I think she would be like automatically combust. If
like her head would explode. Her head would, it would just explode. God bless her. Like seriously, bless her heart. Bless her ignorant heart.
Oh my God, she's horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, she is so horrible.
Tabitha, thank you. Tabitha says, unfortunately, Hochul is even worse than Cuomo. Yeah, that's true. I mean, she's pretty bad.
God,
she
I know
is
you
pretty
think
bad.
you think you couldn't get any worse, and then they did.
Right? I know.
Yeah.
Thank you to Janine Klimt for the super sticker. Thank you to Leslie L, who says, I'm here for all the inappropriateness. Love you, ladies.
Slip that once in a while. Sorry
I know.
about that,
Sometimes we just can't help ourselves. Thank you, Alexander, who says, I'm really the only child acceptable watching this show since I'll be 28 in November.
Okay.
Okay, you're old enough. You're old enough.
Yeah, you can be here.
And thank you, Stuart the Brit, who says, meanwhile, English military legend Christian Craighead, SAS soldier in Nairobi, saved 700 people, said it has taken him 2 years to become a Texan legally. What in the world? That is so borked. Everything about that is completely and totally borked.
It is. It's insane. Yeah.
Wow.
Upside down.
I wanted to read something that we got from our friends at Birch Gold, which was, I mean, it's alarming. I'm going to get my glasses out because otherwise I won't be able to read it. So let me just tell you what they said. They said, there is a significant development that seems to be slipping under everybody's radar. For the first time ever, interest payments on our national debt have eclipsed every other individual budget category except Social Security. Every single one. This is making investors, central banks, conscientious savers looking to gold, because this is a tangible asset that is not subject to the fluctuations of the US dollar. And when the US dollar is weakened by inflation, by all of the things I just mentioned, that is the best time to be looking at spreading out your wealth into different buckets. And gold is a really, really good bucket to have it in. If you don't know how to invest in gold or physical, whether it's physical or whether you want to have gold IRAs, you can do all of that with Birch Gold. And they tell you how in the best, most easiest way to understand ever. They send you a free information kit. All you have to do is text the word chicks to 989898, and they will send you that information kit. You'll read it. You will understand it. I promise, because even me, who I don't understand any of that whole finance world, it makes no sense to me. That made sense. And then you can do with that information whatever you want. There's no obligation. You're just getting information. And you can do that just by texting the word chicks to 989898. Get your free information kit about gold now. Now's a good time. Now's a really good time. Thank you, Robin Zecca, who says, tell Maxine that we've had a Black president, VP, Surgeon General, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Exactly. Maxine should just look in the mirror. That's all she needs to do.
She's not going to.
Oh my gosh.
It's
and
called
then
self-awareness, and none of them have it.
None of them have it. That's right. Evyatar Ashkenazi, again, thank you. He says, me trying to get into the U.S. as an MRI radiographer, denied. Everyone else with no job or qualification, sure, get in, just vote for Biden. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
It is. But
it is so ridiculous.
But it's so calculated, methodical, and planned at this point. Which is why everybody's got to vote in November.
Yep. You got to swarm the polls, swarm them. Remember yesterday when we were talking about how there's the whole conversation about whether or not Joe Biden will pardon Hunter, and we had brought up the possibility that even though he said outright that he will not pardon him, he never said anything about commuting his sentence or not commuting his sentence. So that question was asked actually in the gaggle on Air Force One, I guess, because this is audio only, of KJP answering that question, but not really answering it. Here's what she said.
He has ruled out pardoning his son, but I wondered about a commutation, whether that would be something that would be on the table, a commutation.
So look, as I stated at the top, I don't have anything to say beyond, to your first question, beyond what the president's statement was yesterday. He's been very clear. We've been very clear. He loves his son.
I mean, what?
Yeah.
That is not an answer.
He's going to do it. I mean, he's going to do it, which to everybody with, everybody out here, it's making it less severe, right? It's going to like make it so his sentencing is, because everybody knows what a commutation is, right? So it's going to make everything less severe, which of course he's going to do that. If he doesn't pardon him completely, which I kind of feel like he could still pardon him because he's a complete liar. He lies about everything else. So there's a possibility that he could pardon him anyway. But if he doesn't do that, of course there'll be a commutation. Of course they'll do that.
I mean, they could just admit it instead of being, we've been very clear. He's been very clear. And
Nobody's been clear. You've never been clear.
If it was clear, you wouldn't be getting the question 7,000 times. The same questions over and over.
But of course he's going to do that. Of course he is.
Yeah.
This dude is not going to go to jail for a long time, you guys. I mean, everybody knows that. He knows it, which is why he's not like beside himself upset, because he knows his path in life, and it's been a path of privilege his entire life, which is why every time we talk about it, like we were on Sean Spicer yesterday, and I know everybody qualifies this whole case by, listen, I feel bad that he's a drug addict and all this kind of stuff. Everybody wants to show remorse for him and everything. I just don't. I'm sorry. If that makes me a bad person, I'm a bad person, but this guy has lived a life of privilege. He knows what's ahead of him. He knows that he's never going to face any consequences for what he's done. He's not going to, because he never has. He's going to just live a life of cushiness the rest of his life. There will be no consequence for Hunter Biden. Like, he's just going through the motions right now. And like, his family has probably said to him, just do this, be the scapegoat. And he's going to go through all these little motions, and he's going to continue to live in like big houses and have nice things. And he's going to live a life of privilege for the rest of his freaking life. I mean, so I'm sorry if I'm supposed to feel sorry for him, but I just don't. I just don't. I
don't think you're alone there. Do not think you're alone. Sandra Kuhn, thank you. Sandra says, happy birthday to me and my brother, Tracy. Love you, chicks. Well, happy birthday to both of you. Okay, the weirdest thing happened. Nathan Wade was in an interview with Kaitlan Collins. Caitlin Collins. Why do I have so much trouble with this?
Caitlin Collins is the newscaster.
CNN. I don't know why.
Clark is the basketball player. Right.
I don't know why I have so much trouble.
Think of my last name. I play hoops. And maybe you'll remember it.
I don't know if I'm going to remember that.
You're not going to remember that? Okay.
Clark hoops. Okay, you wear hoops.
I wear hoops.
And then you play.
And I play hoops.
I think that'll help.
Maybe that'll help.
I think that's going to help.
Right. Okay.
Caitlin Collins of CNN had on Nathan Wade in an interview, and the weirdest thing happened. She began to ask him, hey, just to clarify, why didn't you tell us when your relationship with Fani Willis started? He started to give some rambling Kamala kind of answer that didn't answer the question. And then watch what happens.
Clarify, when did the romantic relationship between the two of you start?
Yeah, so, we get into, there's been this effort to say that Okay, these exact dates are at issue, and these exact dates are I'm getting signaled here.
This is live. This is happening live last night.
Yeah, take it. You want to go off mic for a second?
Yes.
Okay.
Caitlin's like, what is happening?
Keep rolling. Yeah, keep rolling. Don't stop down there.
We're going to powwow in the corner here for a second during a live broadcast.
I mean, can you even?
What is even happening right now? This is our world, you guys. This is what's happening. Okay, so this is what you need to say when you get back into the interview. This is what you got to say.
She's going to ask it. She's going to continue to ask it.
And go. Here we go. She's like, what the F just happened?
Everything okay?
Yeah.
Just to revisit the question, it was to clarify when the romantic relationship started and when it ended.
Sure. So, I believe that the public has, through the testimony and other interviews, the public has a clear snapshot that this is clearly just a distraction. It is not a relevant issue in this case, and I think that we should be focusing on more of the facts and the indictment in the case.
But you didn't answer the question. You didn't answer it. I still don't have an answer.
Was that the most bizarre thing ever?
And extremely obvious. Like, you couldn't be more obvious. They unmiked him and took him in a corner and like gave him a talking to and then let him we all saw that. It's like, nope, nobody will see it. No, it's like nobody will
notice.
Nobody will notice what we just did. No, we all noticed it. We saw it. And we could see it with our eyeballs. We could see what.
And we could hear your non-answer. We can hear you saying the answer required a date. She asked, "When did your relationship start?" That'd be like a July, like a May. And he's like, "Well, I'm gonna need to unmic and then have a whole consultation and then continue to not answer your question."
Can you imagine if we did that during a live interview? That would be like the greatest thing if somebody on our staff was just like, hold on, and then just like unmiked us and took us in a corner and just started chatting with us. And we came back, we're like, you didn't see what just happened. You didn't see that, you guys. What is even going on?
I know, it's just the craziest thing.
Our world.
But things get even crazier because in the next clip I'm about to show you, we got to talk about eyeballs, and it's going to be I can't even prepare you for what you're about to see. Andrew Huff, I hope I'm saying your name right. Thank you. He says, everyone forgets this was Hunter's show trial. He still has the tax trial coming. This was because the DOJ got caught with their original sweetheart deal, which the judge struck down. Yeah, I mean, there's more coming. That's true.
And he'll totally get off in that big one. You know what I mean? It's like they have to, this is the scapegoaty one, right?
Right.
Because our justice system works, you guys. It's totally fair. It's fair.
Okay, so here's the weird thing that happened. So Hillary Clinton just came out and endorsed the primary opponent of squad member Jamaal Bowman, fire alarm pulling Jamaal Bowman, psychopath Jamaal Bowman. And this is a surprise to progressives because, Hillary was their girl. And now she's like, well, because Trump is in the mix, we really need a whole lot of common sense, reasonable, not crazy Democrats. So I'm throwing all of my support behind, what's his name? George Latimer. That's the primary opponent. He's an older guy. He's been in some like executive city commission. I don't even know what the title was.
He's more establishment-y Democrat.
Right. He's more like her kind of Democrat.
Right.
And so it's a big deal because it's looking like this Latimer guy might win. Their primary is taking place on my birthday. June 25th is when their primary vote is happening. And Jamaal, we may lose a squad member, which would be, oh my gosh, hallelujah, right? Even if it's another Democrat, it's at least one less squad freak. And so I know that this debate that they had was probably a month ago or so. You're going to see some highlights from this debate, you guys, which was off the rails. But what makes it so much fun to watch is that, first of all, they hate each other viscerally. You can tell. It's been an ugly, ugly campaign. So we got Jamaal, the psychopath squad member, alarm puller on one side. And then I'm not trying. Okay, I mean, this is mean.
Just say it. Just say the things. Nobody cares. Like, we can be mean here, right? You guys, we're all best friends. We can be mean here, right? Well, she's going to be mean. Go ahead. Just say it. Just say the things.
George Latimer's eyes go this way. Okay.
They're not like when you talk to somebody, they're looking at you in the face. Like he's looking, it's okay. Like that's just,
it happens.
It's just his eyes. It happens.
And I'm not trying to be mean about it. I'm just saying it adds to how ridiculous the whole clip is. Right. Because it's just so
right.
There's
all
so
just,
much
it's all
going
just
on.
Ridiculous. Right. There's a lot happening in the clip. Right. And if you didn't, and you needed to set it up so people would be, because if she didn't set it up, then everybody would be
like, oh my God, his eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So she's just setting it up. That's all. Right.
Okay. So just now you're prepared for what you're about to see.
And Maurice, this campaign has been nasty and negative, just like tonight's primary debate. The two-term Congressman Jamaal Bowman has been trying to paint George Latimer as a Trumper, while the Westchester County executive calls the congressman an extremist.
He could have been using his power as a congressman to lobby to get more Section 8 help for Yonkers and Mount Vernon, North Carolina. He didn't do that. Excuse me.
We've done that.
Excuse me.
From the start, the sparks were flying between Congressman Jamaal Bowman and Westchester County Executive George Latimer.
He's ineffective as a congressman.
I've got to rein this in,
for
gentlemen.
this very reason that you've just
We're going to have a lot of disappointed viewers if I don't rein this in.
The
Let's
angry
take a
black
question
man.
down.
Latimer is challenging Bowman in the Democratic primary in the 16th congressional district, which covers parts of the Bronx and Westchester. And tonight, nobody was pulling punches.
You don't think gun violence is a big issue in our
that's
district.
ridiculous.
That's what you said.
That's ridiculous.
That's what you said.
The race is one of the most closely watched Democratic House primaries in the country, in part because national issues have become local ones, like what to do about the border crisis.
What is missing is more FEMA support and more humanitarian support and more judges and social workers and lawyers to help process those who are coming in.
You need an overhaul of our system. It involves requiring a bipartisan effort to do it. It has to be Republicans and Democrats in both houses.
College campus protests over the Israel-Hamas war was also a major topic.
Do you consider the phrase "from the river to the sea" hate speech and or advocating for the eradication of the state of Israel?
I know some do, others don't. I do not.
County Executive Latimer?
I think it is hate speech.
Bowman was asked about an incident on Capitol Hill where he pulled a fire alarm during a contentious government funding debate and was fined and censured.
As soon as I pulled the fire alarm, I immediately said it was an accident, which it was, and I immediately took responsibility for it.
When he pulled the fire alarm, he said it was an accident. Did you see the video? The video shows him walking in with purpose.
I'm sorry, that was a shit show.
It kind of was a shit show, but it was so much fun to watch, wasn't it?
I know, right?
Super fun to watch. And I will say, like the guy, what's the other guy's name?
Latimer.
Latimer seems more reasonable. So
well,
he's obviously more reasonable. Plus, he doesn't want to eradicate Israel.
Exactly. I mean,
So
and I think that's Hillary prefers that kind of Democrat.
Right. Even though Hillary is a nut job too. But I mean, like, she's less of a nut job than squad people.
Right.
Like, so there's that. I mean, so that's happening in the Democrat Party. Man, they think that we have been fighting. There's been fighting on their side.
Oh, yeah.
Right? There's stuff happening over there too, which, I mean, my God.
It's going to be very, I'm going to follow that race. Like, I'm so interested.
And I also want to know what the backstory is, like, with his eyes. I feel like maybe
I know
sort of I want to know what's going on.
That MFer isn't real.
I feel like he's real, but I
I'm
wouldn't.
telling you,
I feel
right?
like it's fake.
No.
Like I had an uncle who was stabbed in the eye with scissors, and he had right when he was 9. They were running around the house and like chasing each other.
This is
with
what
a bunch
they
of
said.
brothers.
This is why they say don't run with scissors.
Well, he was.
That's where that came from,
right? And he fell, and like the scissors went in his eye, and he had to have a glass eye, and so it looked a lot like that. And so I want to know what the backstory is. Like I'm curious. You know what I mean? So that it could be that's what it is. Very, very curious about the backstory there. Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
anyway. So
yeah,
that's a thing that's going on. That's a race you might want to pay attention.
Yeah, you may want to follow that, you guys.
John Newbaum, thank you. John says, enjoy your weekend, ladies. Mock, give Ella Dog lots of love, and Daisy, rest up after your procedure.
Yeah, I mean they haven't inflated yet. I'm waiting.
We must increase our bust.
I'm trying to see if they're just not yet. I'm waiting.
Maybe there's like a delayed reaction. in
I
the
know,
procedure
it's
that you
like
had.
a bee sting, and it takes a little bit.
You're
right?
waiting for the swelling.
I'm waiting.
If you have not yet been introduced to the Boston Celtics coach, a fellow by the name of Joe Mazzulla, he's wonderful. And there's a lot of his videos, his interview footage that is going viral right now. I don't follow pro basketball at all, so he was not on my radar. And then I started watching his videos, and as you and I discussed pre-show, he's hot.
Yeah, he's a good-looking cat, this guy.
He's a good-looking cat. And he's the sweetest, godliest man who will not play with the reporters who want to talk about the fact that he's a black coach in the NBA, and they want him to comment on that and have opinions about that. And he just won't deal. He won't deal with ridiculous questions either.
Nope.
And it's just magic to watch him. There's 3 clips that we wanted to share. The first is about the royal family.
A non-basketball question. Did you get a chance to meet with the royal family? And if not, how was it like having them there in the building?
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph?
I love him.
The Prince and Princess of Wales.
Oh, no, I did not. I'm only familiar with one royal family. I don't know too much about that one.
Love him.
So that's
love
the
him.
first one. I know, right?
That was
He's
so
fantastic.
great. He's just unfazed. You know, he's not going to give into the woke crap. I love him.
And they are not ready for his jelly. They're not. They're just not ready.
Just you cannot touch this guy.
And they asked him, like, and this was a legit question. I think they were asking him, like, how do you stay grounded? Like, how do you get prepared for the battles that you're fighting? And this was just a really nice sort of back and forth.
Are you watching different movies? Are you binge? What are you doing over the last 48 hours not to lose sleep and not be yourself in this situation?
Honestly, I met 3 girls under the age of 21 with terminal cancer. And I thought I was helping them by talking to them, and they were helping me. And so having an understanding about what life is really all about, and watching a girl dying and smiling and enjoying her life, that's what it's really all about. And having that faith and understanding that. You know, the other thing is you always hear people, give glory to God and say thank you when they're holding a trophy. But you never really hear it in times like this. And so for me, it's an opportunity to just sit right where I'm at and just be faithful. That's what it's about.
God, we need more people like him in charge of things.
Yeah.
In positions like that. We just need more people like him in positions where he is. What an unbelievable dude.
Right? And then I'm telling you, if you put Interstellar music behind anybody,
I know,
and it's
right?
going to be like, it's going to pack a punch.
Did you hear that they're coming out with another Interstellar movie? Or I'm sorry, they're re-releasing it.
What do you mean?
They're re-releasing
with new
that
stuff?
No, they're just re-releasing that movie. I heard they're re-releasing it. Like they're doing a second.
To theaters?
Yes, I believe they're re-releasing Interstellar. I read that, and I don't think I'm wrong. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard that they're. I know how much you love that. Here's the thing. I used to hate that movie, but then I forced myself to really sit and watch it all the way through because I hate the ending. I hate it. I hate the fact that he abandoned. Because listen, I have abandonment issues, so I hate the fact that dude abandoned his kid. I just do. That's why I hate the movie. So it's a me thing. But after I watched it and then I just forced myself to kind of get into it. You know what I mean? Then I was like,
oh my God,
dang it. It really is a good movie. It is a good movie. So
good. Oh my God. And to see, like, what if they're doing it at an IMAX?
Right.
That would be freaking amazing.
They are like, I'm pretty sure they're re-releasing it. I saw that somewhere. Oh
my gosh.
I hope it's not just a rumor, but yeah.
So good. So good. And the music, I just like, I like bought some of the soundtrack because it's so powerful.
It's Hans Zimmer, right? Cause he's just, he's ridiculous. He's so talented. Yeah. Ridiculous.
So amazing. Okay. One more clip of Joe and that of Coach Joe. And this is the one that's really getting a lot of traction. So, again, reporters always want to pull him into a race conversation because he's one of 2 black coaches in the NBA, and that's supposed to be a big deal. And so he has a different question that he puts back at them, and everyone is shocked into silence.
Ben School, Yahoo Sports. For the first time since 1975, this is the NBA Finals where you have 2 black head coaches. Given the plight sometimes of black head coaches in the NBA, do you think this is a significant moment? Do you take pride in this? How do you view this, or do you not see it at all?
I wonder how many of those have been Christian coaches.
Silence. Silence.
David Aldridge?
Oh my God, that's amazing.
I mean, I just love him. Unfazed.
Amazing.
Unbreakable, this guy.
Yeah.
And that's God. That is all God. I love him.
Love it. Alexandra says it's going to be released September 27th, 2024.
I wasn't wrong. Sometimes
Oh
I
my
think, did I
gosh.
just like dream that? And I didn't. That's okay. Yay. See, there you go. You can see it.
Oh my gosh. My
You can
husband
see it
is going to
again.
be so excited.
I knew Ron would be excited about that because I know how much he
Yeah.
loves that movie. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so good. All right, the reason for my name today, excuse me, is because Jillian Michaels appeared on Sage Steele's podcast, and they were talking about how completely whack California has become. And so Jillian Michaels moved out of California, her home, like she's literally been there her entire life. And so she explained why she left.
California got too crazy for me. Why? Okay, this is my parting line. I grew up here. I'm a woman. I'm a gay woman. My mom's a Jew. My dad's an Arab. I have a black kid. And believe it or not, my son is half Latin, even though he doesn't look like it. I hold a million cards in your game of woke victimology poker. And when I leave California, maybe you've lost your fucking mind. Just maybe. Like, when you have me running from home, maybe it's gone way too far.
She's not wrong.
Right?
Yeah,
I just love that.
she's-
I love how she said she's holding all the cards.
She is. A
in, like,
victimology.
woke victimology poker. It's
Right.
Perfect.
But see, the thing is though, she doesn't want to be a victim.
Right.
That's the difference between her and a lot of other people. She just doesn't want to be a victim.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Because she knows
And
she's not.
She's not a victim. Right. She's not that kind of a person. You can tell just by interviews and stuff. We don't
Mhm.
know her, but I mean, you can just tell. So she's like, so this probably isn't the place for me.
Now, I don't know where she went. I'm assuming maybe she went to Florida, which is like where
I think
of
so.
celebs go.
Right.
And Florida, I don't know if you guys heard, and this was actually something that we were going to talk with Sean Spicer about, and we just didn't get to it because we got talking about so many other things. But a federal court has struck down DeSantis's ban in Florida on minors getting gender confirmation surgeries, or basically like having their genitals mutilated. He wanted to ban that. Crazy, right? And the federal court said, yeah, you can't ban that. So a reporter at his press conference yesterday said, well, so you're going to appeal. So like, why do you think it's okay for you to spend Florida taxpayer money on an appeal for this? And he had a brilliant answer, as Governor Ron DeSantis always does.
Your office told us that you plan to appeal the gender-affirming ruling from yesterday. So my question today, since we're talking about the budget and taxpayer dollars, why should taxpayer dollars go to this case for the appeal?
Because it's wrong to mutilate minors. It is wrong.
I mean, WTF?
It is wrong to perform a sex change on a 16-year-old.
Yep.
You're not allowed to get a tattoo, but somehow you can have your privates cut off. Give me a break. This is wrong. And I would also say this has already been decided by the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. They upheld Alabama's law, which was almost identical to Florida's law. This will be reversed. There's no question it'll be reversed. Think about it. When the Founding Fathers were creating the Constitution and when the first Congress passed the Bill of Rights, or even when they passed the Reconstruction Amendments in the 1860s, do you think a single person involved in that thought that there was a constitutional right to do this genital mutilation? It's ridiculous. Of course a state can protect children against this, and we had very powerful testimony how this is irreversible. But this idea of using tax dollars, because like the media will point out, oh, the state is spending money to do. So if you say that we shouldn't do that, you're saying that any liberal judge should be able to veto the policy of the state of Florida because they go to the same judges every time, we lose almost every time, and then we win on appeal almost every time. That's what happens. So if you're not willing to defend Florida's duly enacted statutes against liberal jurisprudence, then you're basically saying the people of Florida shouldn't govern themselves and that we should just turn over our destiny to some trial judge somewhere. That I refuse to do.
I love that. I love it so much.
God. There's no better leader.
Right. He's not just protecting, Florida's laws. He's protecting Florida's children. And again, pay attention to the people that are championing, like, mutilating kids. WTF? Who are these people? Who are the people that are like, yay, we get to mutilate kids? Who are you?
What is wrong with you?
I want nothing to do with these people. Like, oh my God. It's nuts, you guys. Nuts.
He is the best.
Yeah,
he is.
He's great.
There was a man on the street test, not really an interview, but like this person is holding a poster board and there's two pictures on the poster board in case it's hard to see. One of them is a nice looking fellow in a Trump supporting t-shirt. The other is a Hamas supporting weirdo. Okay. So the question to people on the street is, hey, out of these two pictures, which one of these people do you think would be more supportive of the LGBTQ community? Hamas guy?
My God.
Or Trump supporter. Okay, so here's how that goes.
Two choices. Who would you say is more likely to be supportive of the LGBTQ community?
Oh, this dude.
Okay, why would you say that?
Because he's a brown person and he's not for Trump.
Do you think the fact that he's part of Hamas would stop him from supporting that community?
Not at all. Probably number one.
Number one?
Palestinians.
Why would you say that?
Because Trump supporters are typically anti-LGBT.
Do you think, so somebody that's a member of Hamas, would they support the LGBTQ community?
These people.
I'm not sure. I'd say
Number one? Okay, what makes you say that?
they just look kinder.
Kinder?
Oh my
Do you
God.
think that,
Wow.
somebody that's, say, a member of Hamas would be supportive of the gay community? Yeah? What do you think?
Yeah. Maybe him.
Number one?
He looks a little friendlier.
I mean, the amount of dumbassery in that video.
Oh my God, right?
Is astounding.
You just, how?
Sheer ignorance. They have no idea what they're doing. And the one that's wearing the scarf is like, it's like in her hair. She's like, isn't it cute?
It's so cute.
So cute. Look at my boobs. Hamas would love my boobs. No, they actually wouldn't. They wouldn't. They'd cover you up and they wouldn't let you do anything. You couldn't drive. You can't swim. You can't do all sorts. And you'd have to be like escorted around by men.
Yeah.
Not at your choosing either. Oh my God.
These people are just complete
Ignorant.
morons.
Totally
Complete
ignorant.
morons. You are a person like me who loves Vegas. And if you
do.
also out there, watcher people, if you are Vegas lovers, you need to be aware if you're traveling there soon that there's some problems. And I did not know that this was a thing in Vegas, but it's a thing in Vegas. Here's what's going on.
Number one?
He looks a little friendlier.
Las Vegas is riddled with West Nile virus positive mosquitoes. Usually we don't have mosquitoes here at all, but if we do, it's after all the flooding that occurs in monsoon season in July and August. But this year, even without standing water yet, the mosquitoes are already rampant. Here's what you need to know. The Southern Nevada Health District released a statement saying they found a bunch of West Nile positive mosquitoes and some positive with something called St. Louis encephalitis.
Oh,
they
great.
also issued guidelines saying that you should wear long sleeves, loose pants,
In
and
Vegas?
use an approved insect repellent and eliminate any standing water that you see.
I'm sorry. What the hell is going on?
I mean, and standing water, does that include pools? Because if I go to Vegas, that's where I'm going to be. I'm going to be standing in water the whole day, drinking a nice beverage. I'm going to be standing in water, like literally for 8 hours a day. So how does that work? I don't.
And you're supposed to
understand.
wear long sleeves.
I'm not going to be wearing long sleeves. I assure you, I won't. I mean, I
Well,
just
please
got these
do not
new
get a
boobs.
disease.
Seriously.
I just don't want you to get a disease.
I don't. We were
don't.
thinking about maybe going there somewhere like this summer, and now I'm like, come on.
Well, somebody
on.
says the chlorine helps, so you'd probably be okay near the
pools
pools.
are treated.
Okay.
Colleen said she was in Vegas 2 weeks ago and she never saw a mosquito.
Okay, so see, but just leave it to you.
I would get
bitten by
encephalitis. Right.
Right.
I would come back. I'd be like, I have encephalitis. This is what happens to me if I don't get something on the plane.
I just feel like it's going to be you. I feel like it's going to be you.
Mock is never going to leave her house when she moves, you guys. Okay. She's afraid of everything at this point. Like I mentioned the very thought of Vegas. She's like, you can't go to Vegas because this is what's happening. Because now there are mosquitoes as big as dogs and they're going to bite you and kill you. Like she's
encephalitis.
I'm afraid of literally everything at this point.
I did not used to be this way, you guys.
No, she's becoming that woman.
I so am. Am. It must be genetic because my mom is so like this.
Yeah, she's
and I'm
definitely
completely taking after her.
She's becoming her mother.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm going to stop driving on highways like any minute.
Oh, you know you are. Like the minute you get to South Carolina, you're going to be like, honey, you have to drive me everywhere.
Well, he won't let me drive anyway, so that's not a problem.
I am a driver. I like to drive. I have to drive. I need drive time to like calm myself and clear my brain. I like driving. I like driving long distances. When we are together, Mock makes me drive. I mean, obviously, I'm the driver. Obviously.
Yeah, she's driving Miss Daisy.
Right. I'm driving Miss Mock is what happened. But my God, yeah. Afraid of everything, you
guys. This was just a really cute clip. So you know how Jake Paul is doing the whole Mike Tyson fight, if Mike Tyson is well enough. Because
when is that happening?
It was supposed to be in July, right? But then Mike Tyson was suffering from some sort of illness, and so there was talk about it possibly being delayed. So I'm not exactly sure now when it's happening. But Jake Paul went and visited Trump, and there's just this moment. This is like a 5-second clip, and I just love Trump in this clip because he's so. He looks so good in it. You know what I mean? Like when Trump looks happy and well and not old and like not weird.
He's looked good lately. He looks healthy.
Really does. He really does.
Good.
And considering what he's gone through,
right?
It's just I love that they crack each other up because you know how the fighters always get like nose to nose and they have to look at each other real mean.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. And then they both lose it. And it's so cute. So watch Trump in this because I just love it.
Yo, I'm scared, bro.
Isn't that great?
That's super cute. Yeah, that's cute. Yeah, he does. He looks good. He looks like he's trimmed down and he's like healthy. And you're right. I mean, considering all the crap he's been through, most people would age 30 years. And he hasn't. He has not. The guy is I marvel at what he can put up with.
Yeah, he's a weeble wobble, man.
He really is. It is truly astounding to me.
Also, last night was the congressional baseball game. You know how they have those every year? Yeah. So the Republicans won by a lot, like by a lot. And I just have a clip of when Dan Goldman went to bat, just because I hate that guy.
He's a beta male, and he's probably never played a sport ever in his whole life.
It just doesn't go well, you guys.
On 2 strikes here on Dan Goldman from New York.
Oh my God.
And a swing and a miss that will end the inning. The Democrats threaten but do not score. 7-5.
Oh, wait.
Republicans after 3 here at Nationals Park.
Who's that? Ringer. Who is that?
I forget his name. I forget his name.
Look at him with the swagger. Yeah,
I knew that. Who was that, you guys? You guys don't know.
Do you guys know who that is? He was kind of cute in that little uniform.
Corey Mills. That's who that is. Yes,
Ringer.
Corey Mills. Yeah, Ringer is right.
It's funny because listen, the Republicans they creamed him, right? So I mean, you think about that. Like I would venture to say that most of the Republican players on that team have played in the past, at least in some time in their life, they played some sort of sport. Whereas the Democrats, probably not.
They were
probably not very athletic.
Boying it up.
Yeah, they were eating a lot of soy and, doing a lot of like protests in their day and just very soft and beta-y, not into sports. So, I mean, I'm not surprised that the Republicans just kicked their butt in this.
It was
Yeah.
good. It was good stuff. Also, this is an older, well, it's not that old. It's from April, but this is a Jon Stewart. Sometimes he makes me insane with rage because he is so smart. And so why he is a Democrat, I just don't understand it. But he actually, when he does a funny bit, like sometimes they are just so good. And this is one of those clips. So he's ripping on the media, rightly so, in this clip, and you'll see why. It is hilarious.
Pretty bleak recently, in the past 200-300 years. Listen, but this weekend, there was one story that was so disturbing, so dark. Even the news couldn't handle it.
In our editorial discussions this morning, we were asked not to show the image from this video because of its violent and disturbing nature.
Video, which we are intentionally choosing not to show you. We're not going to show because of how disturbing it is.
I was extremely disturbed to see this.
Horrible, horrible, violent imagery.
Violent and dehumanizing imagery.
We're only going to show you a clip of this briefly.
All right, that's enough. Let's take it down.
I didn't get to see it at all. This has got to be devastating. News channels show images from Ukraine, from Gaza, from natural disasters. They get through them dispassionately. I can't imagine how devastating this footage must be.
Former President Donald Trump shared a video, this one, on his Truth Social account featuring an image of President Joe Biden hogtied on the back of a pickup truck.
That's what was so disturbing and dehumanizing. You wouldn't show it on television and an airbrushed Biden decal on the back of a truck. Aren't you the same networks that show reruns of 9/11 every year?
Right.
I mean, I don't think it's great that Trump is posting things like this, but it's not like people really think Joe Biden was tied up in the back of the truck.
It's a doctored image, but it's plastered on the tailgate of the pickup truck. So if you're driving behind it, it would appear as if Joe Biden were actually restrained.
Oh my
on the
God,
vehicle
really?
seatbelt.
They would actually believe he's in there. Swear to God. Oh my God. I can't.
His face.
If you think that's really Joe Biden tied up on the back of the pickup truck, I don't know that you have the mental acuity to be operating a motor vehicle.
So true. My God. Meanwhile, remember when Kathy Griffin trotted out the head, the bloody head? Remember?
Yes.
Remember? And we saw a lot. I feel like we saw that everywhere. Nobody said, hey, we should probably tone that down a little bit. I mean, they talked about that ad nauseum. We had to see it over and over and over again. Yeah. Sensitive.
Okay, somebody said it wasn't Corey Mills, so now I don't know.
Okay, I don't know who it was.
I thought
but
it was.
It was hot, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was hot.
And who it was. It's
That
pretty
was
hot.
hot.
And it was doing a little swagger, you know?
He had some swagger going
Little swagger.
on all up in there. Amy Floyd, thank you. She says it's Logan Paul, Jake's brother. Okay.
Okay. I get him.
Sorry, my bad.
confused. I don't really know the difference, and I kind of don't care.
I don't either.
I don't. And if that makes me bad, I'm sorry. I just don't care.
Alexander, thank you. She says Corey looks like the men I saw in the Old State Saloon. Those men definitely don't look like they hide high heels in the back of their closets. No, they do not. They do not look like that at all.
No.
Okay, now is it time? Yes, it is time for your double V.
Okay, so yesterday I was talking to a friend of mine from high school, and he just reminded me of, sometimes we get really down on this generation, how they're selfish and entitled, and we say bad things about this generation. But he has a 19-year-old that is he's basically he's in the military. I think he's Army, but he's guarding the embassy and the U.S. embassy in Baghdad right now.
Wow.
Yeah, right. I mean, this kid is a badass, and there's a lot of them like that. And I like my daughter's one of her best friends she's in an Air Force Academy camp. And like there are kids that are in the younger generations that are really into the military and they're all about the military. And so I just think that we need to recognize that more. And when I saw this clip, I thought, God, these kids are so young and they're serving our country. And I just wanted to give a hat tip to that. And this little girl was going and she's running to hug her brother who he looks so young. And it was just so wholesome and sweet. And I just want to give a hat tip to all the young people who are serving and doing something that, I mean, I never did. Right. And so it's just a wonderful thing. And we need to recognize all the youngins that do that. So I love this clip.
U.S. Air Force can't move from formation until a family member touches them. And this was the moment this little girl ran straight to her older brother to tap him out. Even this guy in the background couldn't hold back his smile watching this take place. An incredible moment for this family.
I mean, look, he's so young. He's so young, right?
God, he's a baby.
I know, they're babies. So anyways, I just wanted to take a moment to thank them, right?
Love it.
Good kids.
Love it. All right, it is time for some schlonging. And you have heard Daisy and I in multiple shows talk about how you shouldn't mess with your face, right?
You shouldn't.
Don't put the things in it. Don't inject it. Don't fill it. Don't plump it. Just age like a normal person. Right. You know what? If you do that, if you just age like a normal person, you're helping contribute to new and improved and realistic beauty standards.
Totally.
Cave to what the culture is insisting you're supposed to look like, some sort of robot. Just don't reject it, right?
Yeah.
So we've talked about that a million times, and all of that still applies. Okay, but what we did not realize is that this quest for self-improvement physically has gone so off the rails. Like, it's not just about filler. It's not just about plastic surgery all over. It's not just about those things. Now it's gotten just stupid, you guys. And we have an example. Here it is.
I've wore contacts for many, many years now, and I'm just so over it. I've been looking to change my eye color, but I never really knew how to do it. If I finally had found out about corrado pigmentation in New York City, and I've studied it for a while, and finally I'm here today. I'm a little bit nervous, but it's okay because I know that the results are going to look amazing. I chose French blue. I'm ready.
French blue.
I'm so excited to be here with you guys right now. Knowing the 20-second thing though, psychologically helps you to overcome it, because it's not long.
What are they burning her eyelids? What are they doing?
They're literally injecting tattoo dye in there.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God, she's crying.
Thank you so much. I wanted this for such a long time. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love it. Thank you so much. Such a godsend. You're like Jesus. You're like the eye Jesus. I'm just so grateful.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much.
Not
amazing.
psychotic.
Oh, beautiful. It's phenomenal, right? Oh my God. I'm definitely nervous, but I definitely have to say that there's nothing to worry about. I think that the thing that helped me to mentally get through the procedure was to know that certain things don't take very long. Like, one of the things only took 20 seconds, and when you just start counting down in your head 20 seconds over, and then next thing you know, he's done. When he inserted the pigment, it did feel a little funny. It makes you think like it's pain, but it's not really pain. It's just kind of like a weird feeling, since we're not used to feeling things inside of our eyes. I am absolutely in love. I love my color. I am so glad that I came and I did this. This has to be one of the best things that I've ever done for myself. Thank you.
Gosh.
The
What are
risks
we doing?
are off the charts.
And
Oh my
being
God.
a doctor and doing that, can you imagine? I'm basically burning her eyeballs or bleach, whatever they're doing to her eyeballs, and then putting
They're essentially
pigment in there.
tattooing
her eyeballs
corneas or whatever.
And
It's
she signed a waiver saying it's okay, you may blind me, but I'm cool with it.
And
there
the
was a
fact
waiver
that
involved.
was the fact that she's crying over the color change as if having brown eyes was
Was so
some
terrible.
sort of horrible, debilitating, tragic thing.
Right.
I'm just like, what is going
The crying
on?
got me too. It's like, why are you crying? What is it? It's, oh my God, you're not deformed. What is going on with you? She was very pretty before. Yeah.
And she wore contacts. She just said she was tired of having to wear colored contacts. And I'm just like,
why did you have to wear them at all? Yeah. It's very strange. I think there's just such an obsession with looks. And that's all social media. I think we all know what that's all about because people are constantly looking at themselves now.
Yeah.
Especially this generation. That's all they do is look at themselves constantly. So that's why, a lot of women are getting Botox in their 20s.
Oh my God.
Because it's preventative. It's like, oh my God. I mean, this is what they're doing. Are you kidding? Like our generation, we've never even thought about doing that stuff ever.
I mean, I don't even, could we have? Like when we were in our 20s, was that even a thing?
I don't even know. But we weren't looking at ourselves 24/7.
Right. Right.
I mean, in our 30s, we weren't looking at ourselves 24/7. I mean, it's like, I didn't want to. I still don't want to. I don't want to look at myself 24/7. But this generation, that's what they do. And it's obsessive to the point where they're just like, I have to change my eye color. Really? Do you? Stop.
That's just the dumbest thing to risk your eyesight over.
I know. It is.
Wow.
That guy, that doctor is like, happily, I'll take your money.
Mm-hmm. And now it's a thing. So this is and somebody asked, well, why do women bleach their hair? Fair point. Because I get rid of my grays and I brighten up the color. And I guess I just don't look at that as something that is going to injure me permanently.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not
And it's not permanent. It's not permanent.
Right. Right.
I mean, your hair grows back out. You can make it a different color, I guess. It's like, I don't know. Whereas the eye color, it's pretty permanent and it can blind you. Like it can literally maim you.
Yikes.
And do we know the long-term ramifications of that? Have there
well,
been
I mean, it's a
clinical
fairly
studies?
New procedure. So clearly we don't. I mean, I don't know how we could. It's crazy. That's crazy.
Weird. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so that's the thing that we wanted to schlong about today. Hope you
There
enjoyed.
You go. Mm-hmm. And you guys, somebody reminded me that I didn't remind everybody to put us in your pocket. So make sure that you're subscribed to this podcast. If you haven't already, subscribe where you get your podcasts. Make sure you do that.
Yeah, for sure. Do that. It is time for some My Pillow Talks. I'm going to save my favorite one for last. Oh my gosh, they're all so good today, though. Okay, so let's. So first, we're going to start with the weird thing. So you probably heard, or maybe you haven't, that Apple has a new iOS update coming out. It's out for like beta testers already, the 18.0 whatever, the new operating system. So they update it constantly, but this update is major. Like it's going to have some major things where, you know how there's the tap backs on texts where you can you say haha or you thumbs up a comment, right? Like, so you don't have to write back. And there's just like the 5 options, I think is what they have. So now you're going to be able to tap back with emojis galore, like with any emoji that you want. So they're going to do some interesting updates on the iPhone, and that's coming soon. But they're also doing some really weird, scary shit. And here is these people to tell you about it.
Oh so, my God, when you look guys, at it, this is mental. The iPhone update.
Yeah, I've already got it. I've been using the eye tracking feature where instead of like using your fingers like a commoner
oh my God.
Use your phone, you just use your eyeballs.
Hang on, what?
What's going on? You just look at the phone.
This is like having a chip in your head. Here we go, I'm looking.
Well, what are you doing? Oh yeah, but hang on. It's calibrated to my eyes.
Oh. What? Oh, and then, sorry, okay, so it's highlighting the app but not opening it. Then how do you open it? What did you do to do that?
He blinked. He blinked.
Oh
That's
my
insane.
gosh.
Did anyone ever think that was coming so soon?
Can you even?
That's freaking weird.
Right?
I hope it's optional. I don't think I want that.
Usually that stuff is always optional.
I'm gonna opt out of that. I mean,
That's
I don't even
wild.
Listen, I got rid of my new car and I got a used car because I didn't even like my car telling me what to do. Like, you need a cup of coffee because you're swerving a little. I was like, yeah, I'm getting rid of you. I'm getting a used car.
Don't tell me what to do.
Don't tell me what to do. I don't like these machines having more control over me than they need to have. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's like burn it all with fire, you guys.
Oh my God. That completely freaked me out. Like I was not prepared for that happening. Oh
yeah.
I didn't mean to do that, but I do want to thank, where did that go? Duffy. Where did it go?
And it has to be doing something with your eyes. It has to be like it's connecting somehow with your eyes. So what is it doing to your eyes in that process?
Right. I mean, that's the thing.
What-
I don't know. It's clearly using your eyeballs in some way, and that
Right.
is freaky
So
to me.
How does that affect your eyeballs? That's my question.
I don't know.
I don't like this.
Stuart
It's-
the Brit
okay.
says 7 deadly sins.
Yeah. Randy said it's great for quadriplegics. It is.
Okay, that's fair. Like
You're
when
right.
it, when it
That's very
serves
fair.
a purpose like that, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fine. But for me, nope.
It's a little
No.
scary. It's a little scary.
Yeah.
I don't understand. This dog is very famous. This dog named Eddie on TikTok is very, very famous because he does not like to get up in the mornings, which I appreciate. I'm right there with you, Eddie. But why does anybody want this sort of dog?
Eddie. Ready? Oh, your eyes open?
Is he dead?
Your eyes open? I know.
Oh no, he's alive.
You ready, baby?
He's cranky.
He's so mad
Come on, I
and so
know. Mondays
ugly.
are the worst.
God, what kind of a dog is that?
I don't know.
So mad.
It's just awful.
Nasty.
It's okay, baby. Good morning. Good
It's like
morning.
if Joy Behar was a dog,
Come on.
right?
Why do you want that?
I don't know.
Okay, all right.
And so
But your eyes will open.
he scares her away.
Yeah, that wouldn't pass in my house.
Thank
You
you. but
don't-
No, I don't want that.
Dogs
kind of
aren't in
creature.
charge. I mean, they're sort of semi in charge only just because they take all the couches, but that's not going to fly
Yeah,
in my
that
house.
is wild. For some reason, this German Shepherd hates and is victimized by the word "ooga."
Ooga.
I don't know how this started.
How do you even start like learning that your dog is victimized by the? I mean, who's ever said the word ooga in your house?
I don't know, but look how mad he gets.
Just another day of my dog getting personally victimized by the word ooga.
Oh my gosh. Bless his
So
heart.
mad.
So mad.
He doesn't like it.
Yeah.
So
I don't-
obviously she says it a lot.
he must have known like a drug dealer in a past life named Ooga. He was a coke dog.
Also this baby. I love this baby so much.
Fucking damn it. Oh, fucking damn it. Oh, fucking damn it. Fucking damn it.
There's gonna be somebody who's mad about this. There's always somebody. Whenever you see these videos of these kids, people are always like, "This is wrong. I can't believe they're like this. It's terrible. You should never. Baby shouldn't be doing this."
I love that baby.
And it's true. I mean, they shouldn't, but that baby's never gonna remember that. Just never gonna remember. But it's funny. It's kind of funny.
Love that.
Mhm.
And then I know we've shown videos before of how like if you don't want cats climbing up on your kitchen counters, you can put aluminum foil, and they don't like that. They don't like it at all. So apparently these people did not want their cat on their couch, so they put aluminum foil along the back of the seats,
Mhm.
and the cat, they videotaped the cat learning about this aluminum foil for the first time, and it's glorious. You see him back there?
Sorta. Yeah.
There
Okay.
he
Yes,
is.
I do.
He's like, wait a minute.
He's coming up.
Something looks different.
He's coming up.
I'm gonna test this out in just a second.
Here he
I
comes.
don't know how I feel about it.
Oh my god, that is so great. It's great. You know, aluminum foil works for dogs too. Because we had a friend who had these giant like bulldogs, and they put aluminum foil on their couch, and it kept the dogs off the couch.
Really?
too. Yeah.
Huh.
It works for dogs too.
Okay, well, last one. And this is literally me doing any kind of a budget. Okay.
Okay.
This month, my husband and I are implementing a new budgeting tactic where we are not going to spend a single dollar on anything outside of our mortgage, our utilities, food, gas. I bought a monkey. This month, my husband and I are implementing.
That's so us too. That is so us. Uh-huh. That's so true.
Such something I would do. I'd be like, we're on a strict budget. No, you cannot buy.
Yeah, you can't
that
get
deodorant,
anything, honey. You can't get anything. Okay.
But also, here is a new monkey.
Here's a monkey and a giraffe that I bought at a flea market. Right.
That was like the meest budget ever.
Totally.
Oh my gosh. Let's bring it in because I have gifts. I want to make sure that
Mark has gifts. I gotta check my PO box today.
Yeah,
I need
you
to
do.
That. I do.
You really do, because I know that you're gonna have
tomorrow
some
is Friday.
So first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Sean from Apex, North Carolina, who made this.
What?
It is the coolest Belmont Abbey lacrosse keychain.
Gosh.
Isn't that the coolest?
I mean, hello.
I love
Yes.
it. I love it so much.
I love it too.
Love,
So
love,
cute.
love it.
That is so thoughtful.
So thoughtful. And then, oh my God, Via. What are you even doing?
I
You
know,
are
right?
it's freaking Christmas every day up in here.
I know,
This
right?
hat is from Via.
I love that hat.
I do too. In
love
fact,
it.
I thought when I opened it yesterday, I didn't even know this was what I was gonna wear today. I put this on and then I saw the hats and I was like, I have to wear this one. It's like the exact same color. I love it. But she also sent two other.
Love those.
Ron and Jackson. Ron and Jackson also got America.
Love.
This
Love,
is
love,
all for
love.
4th of July.
Love.
She sent this adorable t-shirt.
Oh, I love that.
Love it. And then she also sent this t-shirt.
Oh my gosh, that is so
Wait,
great.
Can you see the back?
Yeah, any knucklehead can be president. That is so great.
And then she also sent a t-shirt for Thomas.
Oh my God.
Can you even? I can't. I cannot.
Sweetest.
And then
So
for my
sweet.
birthday, and for Father's Day, she sent Ron a gift card for Father's Day. She sent me this. This is for my birthday. This adorable tote bag. Super
So
beachy,
cute.
all the flip flops.
So
and
cute.
she sent. This is also for my birthday, and it's my favorite thing. The most glorious, plush, soft, beautiful blanket.
And that'll be so cute in your house too. 'Cause of all the
Right?
blue. Yeah.
Oh, I just love this. Love this. Love
Mm-hmm.
everything. Thank you, Via. You're too much. Too much. Too much.
She is too much. Flaps are still a thing. I'll have to do them tomorrow, you guys.
Oh,
Just-
yeah.
It's really hard to get just one dog to come in here. And then it becomes a free for all. And then they all start fighting. And it's like, my dogs are like criminals. Okay. Mock's dogs are like professional dogs. My dogs, on the other hand,
They're
like,
a little feral.
they are
Little
feral.
feral.
You come to my house and it's like a crime scene up there. All right. And that's what it is. All right, so I'll do my best to see if we can get some flaps tomorrow for sure.
Yay.
All right. Cute stuff, Mock. Cute stuff.
Yes. I love everything. Thank you,
Yes,
Via.
you guys have a wonderful Thursday and we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye everybody.